असक्त बुद्धि सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगत स्पृहः नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमां संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति. As we have been observing, especially from verse number 40 onwards, even though 40 to 48, you can take 49 also, is part of Karma Yoga. Especially this particular this verse highlights that look how the Karma Yoga is going to help you. Because let us not forget the purpose of Karma Yoga. Because when a person does karma with yoga attitude, yoga buddhya, it only prepares the mind. Once the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikarina, once the person becomes sadhana chatushtaya adhikari, then that person becomes available for self-knowledge. If this is the point, that means Karma Yoga takes me to Jnana Yoga. And once I am in Jnana Yoga, because Jnana Yogena eva mukti, the freedom, the liberation, that will come only through Jnana Yoga. But Jnana Yoga, one cannot be exposed, like we say, Vedanta class is not meant for everybody. One cannot come to Vedanta class just like that. Even though we do it, it doesn't work. Long before person comes to Vedanta class, Jnana Yoga has to go through a lot. Or else, this will not be helpful. In fact, if we observe great Rishi Narada went to Sanat Kumara, and Narada is not ordinary person, he is a Devarshi. We say Manasa Putra of Brahmaji. And he goes and says, look, I know everything. Anything you say, I know. Veda, Nirukta, Chandas, everything I know. But I have heard that self-knowledge alone gives mukti. So if the self-knowledge gives mukti, I want that. And who says? Narada says. After having all this, then of course Sanat Kumara started teaching him. So Karma Yoga makes you to understand that basic steps. If we understand also what are the basic steps, the basic step that karma is not going to give me happiness that I am looking for. But Karma Yoga is required so that I understand the limitation of karma, and based on this, I slowly grow out of attachment. And once I grow out of attachment, because wherever there is raga, attachment, there is shoka, there is emotional pain. Remember this point. Wherever there is raga, attachment, there has to be shoka, emotional pain. And when you have this emotional pain for a length of time, you will have moha called delusion. You cannot make your mind free. Your mind can never become available for anything. Forget about self-knowledge. And that mind always will be preoccupied mind. And basically, a preoccupied mind can never become constructive. And imagine this self-knowledge, Atma-jnanam, is something where you need to have prepared mind availability. The mind must be available. We say, out of this dharma, artha, especially I made mistake, artha kama, for that you don't need any prepared mind. You don't need any constructive mind. Whereas for dharma, you need some constructive mind. And forget about moksha. You need really very good constructive mind. Here, this karma yoga prepares me. That's why we say, when karma yoga, please understand, karma yoga always includes upasana. You cannot remove upasana from karma yoga. That's the most important point to note. This selfless service does not really help in long run. Maybe it's good for getting, awards. Along with this, upasana is must. Why upasana is important? Because through upasana, one of the most important thing happens. We say that sarira nigraha takes place. This is the first step. Sarira nigraha means that mastery over body. If you have to do puja, you have to sit in a posture for length of time. If you have to do dhyanam, saguna vishaya upasana, when you do this upasana, if you do meditation, you have to sit in a posture, not you keep changing. That's why in a class we make it, whichever posture you are sitting, you have to sit. That's why I have made this, video on. Not whenever you want, you can switch off and again switch on, not allowed. Because these are the basic things. Because only when there is a sarira nigraha, because when basic things, if you cannot follow, Vedanta is not going to help you at all. Then after sarira nigraha comes mano nigraha. So when you have mastery over your body, when you are able to sit for a length of time, if you are acquainted with your comfort, or if you are afraid of your pain, body pain, that means what happens? There is moha, there is delusion. Or Swamiji, today I don't look good, so that's why I want to keep my video off. Somebody says, Swamiji, my mood is not good today, I want to keep video off. Wish you all the best. You understand the concept? It's not going to help you at all. Because only by Sarira, when you are keeping video on, you can see you are somehow forced to have some type of control over your body. And that only helps your manonigraha to boss over, to mastery over your mind. That's why with Karma Yoga, Upasana is a package. It's not like the class when we do, sit on the chair, shaking the legs, many places they do it. Okay, this is very good in Katha, not in Vedanta. Stretching the leg, wow, you understand? And also people look for back seat. I cannot forget. So, very nice, one lady was there. Always she takes for back seat. And once the class starts, she'll start not only sleeping, snoring. I remember, with this one I can tell you, there was a master, so that I'll go to the verse. He and his students were traveling in the evening. They discovered two of the people are walking with a lamp. So one person is having a lamp and the other person is following. So the student said to the teacher, wow, what a beautiful, somebody carries the lamp and other person follows. That time the teacher smiled and said, hey, each one must have their own lamp. But the students did not say anything, did not bother. After some time, the first one who was holding lamp, so he had to travel in his way. And this person was supposed to travel in different way. Now what happens? Now does not know what to do, now in the darkness. So that time the teacher said, didn't I tell you that each one should have their own lamp? The story goes further. When the same teacher come to an end, his life comes to an end. So people started crying, especially that person started crying. And that time again the teacher reminded, didn't I tell you to have your own lamp? Had you got your own lamp, had you woken up to yourself, today when I am dying, you not cry. That's why I say, Marta Guru Rota Chela. If the Guru is dying and the students are crying, both are stupid. So here also, this can happen when there is upasana, when you want to see the growth, or this can happen, let us say, when there is no upasana, only karma yoga. So karma yoga and upasana must be together. And with this, let us look at the verse. So first he says, Jitatma. So Jitatma means the one who has self-mastery. So what is this Atma means here? So here Atma means that body-mind complex. So the person who has mastery over one's own body-mind complex, says body to sit, not to move, is able to move. Says that, oh mind, does not move, also mind does not move. That means whatever you say, now this body-mind complex listens to you completely. Not that mind goes somewhere and body is somewhere. It does not work. That's why Karma Yoga with Upasana takes you to what? This stage called Jitatma. That means your mind is integrated mind. Because only through Upasana you will have integration, not by anything. So Karma Yoga and with Upasana. Then says beautifully that not only that, also Asakta Buddhi. So Asakta Buddhi means whose intellect is detached. So when you say whose intellect is detached, because it's natural to have ragam, attachment towards object, situation, people, even if all beings. You can say, I don't have any attachment towards anybody, but I have very good attachment, strong attachment to my puppy, because I have left in the home. That's enough for you, don't worry. So here he says that whatever you do, you will develop attachment. And once there is attachment, as we have discussed, there has to be emotional pain. All your emotional pain is related to your attachment. And that object or person or situation or the place that you are attached to, that object or situation detects your happiness and unhappiness. The mood that you have is completely remoted by, or the person is having remote control in your hand, in that person's hand. And based on that remote, you keep jumping or dancing. So that's why here is being highlighted that asakta buddhi. So whose intellect is no more attached, na asakta, detached, free from attachment. So that means the person does not allow not only this moha to take place, but also doesn't allow the shoka to take over him or her. And when this happens, says beautifully, sarvatraha, with reference to everything from everything, and bigata spruha, the person is free from desires. So the person does not have any spruha. So that means the person is not craving for anything. Whatever comes, let it come. If it does not come, let it also not come. That's why we say, agate swagatam kuryat, gachantam na nivarayat. This is one of the beautiful way of living life. Whatever comes, welcome. Whatever goes, allow it to go. But generally what we do, whatever comes, we do not create obstacles, we don't welcome. No, it should not come. And whatever goes away, we hold on to. And I have seen, especially when your related people come to your house, especially mother-in-law, when it comes to the house, I observe these people. When mother-in-law comes, first thing is, with reluctantly, mentally, do you know what they will do? They will welcome. Because if they don't welcome, it's a big mess. So you have to reluctantly, with 32 teeth, welcome. And when goes away, mother-in-law going away, actually they want to celebrate. No, mommy, you should not go. You should stay a few more days. And if that lady is a little stupid, says, okay, I'm staying some more day. What will happen? So, in short, here he says that bigata spruha. Then he says, look, then that person paramam naiskarmyam siddhim adhigacchati. So up to this is called karma yoga. So karma yoga phalam is being discussed. One is jitatma, means the person through the karma yoga gets self-mastery. Also asakta buddhi, the person who is no more attached to anything. And then bigata spruha, the one who is free from the desires. Now these are the three things we call here, or up to this is called karma yoga phalam. Then this karma yoga leads to what? Jnana yoga. So he uses this, that through karma yoga, now the person prepares the mind, then goes to Jnana Yoga. Then he uses this word sannyasena. So sannyasa means general translation through the renunciation. Here actually called Jnana Yogena eva. So we'll see why is being used the sannyasa word. So sannyasena through the renunciation, through the Jnana Yoga, naiskarmyam siddhim paramam naiskarmya siddhim adhigacchati. So that person attains the paramam. Paramam means what? The siddhi, that which is paramam. So that means this supreme goal. And what is that? That is called naiskarmya iti. That means the actionlessness. Now when it talks, why this is sannyasa? And why do you say that sannyasa is nothing but Jnana Yoga? Please understand. When we talk about this sannyasa, very carefully we highlight, because a sannyasa is a lifestyle where the person is committed to nididhyasana. As all of you know, the job of the sannyasi is not to get into politics, to do this, to do that, or not to do this, not to do that. That is not the job of the sannyasi at all. But in India, now it is required, they have to do it because everybody does nididhyasana, it will not work, okay? That is another version, okay? So each one has got their prarabdha, let them do whatever they want. Maybe we need some people like Janaka, who knows? However, the job of here sannyasa, you have to understand very carefully, where predominantly the person is engaged in nididhyasana. Because the next verse onwards will continue Jnana Yoga. Because a sannyasi has time. So when you have time, what is to be done? All the time only Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam. So especially for sannyasi, if not Sravana, Adhyayana. So studying. So along with the studying, then what happens? Mananam, Nididhyasanam continues. So predominantly the person is owning of the knowledge. That's why sannyasena, because if you do not own up, it's exactly like you are having like no Sravanam here. After Sravana, there is no Mananam. Forget about Nididhyasana. You don't do homework at all. Of course, many of you don't do at all, that I know, okay? What will happen? Always you are fresh. You are always a clean slate, okay? Slate. Swamiji, I am a clean slate. In fact, now what you started also, that I don't remember. But when you scold, that I remember all the time. And sometimes I say, Swamiji, you are very tough today. Maybe you are not okay today. You also judge me, okay? Swamiji, you are not okay. I think especially when you are in Odisha, your mind is not okay. You are very tough. Why can't you shift from Odisha to some other place? So those part you remember. Very good, okay? Wish you all the best. So coming back to the point, that always I am, ever fresh. Means nothing I remember. Remember, that is not going to help you either. That's why after Shravanam, this Mananam. So Mananam means what? You need to do homework. You need to dwell upon the teaching, the logic of teaching, and your habitual thinking. Remember, always there is a conflict. The conflict between the teaching based logic and your habitual logic. Just observe this point. Which logic takes over? Always, for a common person, habitual logic takes over. If your habitual logic is taking over, that means You are not ready for Vedanta class. Don't waste time. For you, it is better to spend in Karma Yoga. You need to spend more and more time in Karma Yoga, so that through Karma Yoga and Upasana, you will have some Shraddha in teaching and teacher. At least you will allow the fighting to take place in you. But what you do, you don't allow the fighting to take place in you, you fight with the teacher. Do you understand the concept? When you don't allow the fighting to take place in you, fighting means what? Your habitual logic and the teaching oriented logic. So when they don't meet together, your habitual logic is so strong and you want the teaching logic must bend down. Then what you want to do? So the one who is giving teaching, if the teacher starts fighting, if it is book or YouTube, close that. So that's why here is being said very carefully that in that case, spend more time in Karma Yoga and Upasana. Like decide for 1 month not to talk anybody. Let me do whatever to be done. Let me have maunam for 1 month. Or let me take up this, take up that. Because that only will help you to train your mind. Or else what will happen is, the next verse that we are going to talk, which is Karma Yoga, which is Jnana Yoga, few verses will come, is not going to enter at all. But however, my job is to continue. Please continue. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Actually, from this verse onwards, from 50 to 55, 6 verses, we'll talk about the Jnana Yoga. Even though Lord Krishna has talked Jnana Yoga in different places, starting from 2nd chapter, 4th chapter, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 13th. So everywhere, 15th, he has talked in details. Still, he thought, why not to summarize? Because after all, this is summary. So again, he wants to summarize in few verses, because he highlights, we can see this point quickly. Jnana Yoga consists of 3 stages. One is Shravanam, second one is Mananam, third one is Nididhyasanam. We need these 3 together, because Shravanam one part, Mananam and Nididhyasanam is another part. So Shravanam means what? Listening or consistently, better to what? Not listening to, consistently. So YouTube listening is not Shravanam, for your kind information. Because why YouTube listening is not Shravanam? So when you listen to YouTube, you switch on the YouTube, then what you do? You do everything once in a while. When you don't, so make the teacher mouth on. Pause it and go away. So poor Swami, keeping the mouth on, okay? However, let me not get into too much. Because there in YouTube or any other method, you are not available. That becomes more information oriented. There is no much Shraddha. You are curious. However, Shravana means consistently, like you have to listen means, that's why your class means 12 o'clock means 12 o'clock, 11:30 means 11:30. That's why I have asked to come 5 minutes before Guru Stotram, and some of you purposefully join towards the end. That also I observe. This is not Shravanam at all. That's why here it says Shravanam means consistently, there is a consistency. Consistently and systematic study of Vedantic scripture for a length of time under the guidance of a competent teacher. So who is that competent teacher? So the person who has methodology of teaching, who does not forget. If the teacher forgets, a student forgets is acceptable. If the teacher forgets, will it be acceptable? That's why Shravana is one part. Mananam and Nitidhyasanam happens in keeping with Shravana. But if you say, no, I want to do only Nitidhyasanam, it's not going to work. Why? With this logic, I'll keep quiet. This Shravana, Mananam, Nitidhyasanam is considered with reference to your morning coffee. When I say morning coffee, suppose you have a habit of having some sugar. Now you keep adding sugar, but do not mix. Just you keep adding sugar and you drink. Will it be sweet? Definitely not. Whereas you don't want to add sugar at all, you want to keep mixing. Will it be sweet? Definitely not. So if you want to have a sweet coffee, you need to add sugar and keep mixing. So sugar adding is called Shravana. Mixing is called Nitidhyasana. Without Shravanam, if you do Nitidhyasana, you close your eyes, I am doing meditation. I am asking Ko Aham, who am I? Keep mixing. Nothing will happen. So you need to do adding, also you need to do mixing. More of it we'll see. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.